Everyone thinks these are basically the same. Cheetos, Doritos. Two of the most popular chips on the shelf, and most people assume there's no real difference between them. But when you actually measure them, there is.
What about red meat?
What about fruit?
What about fat?
What about carbs?
Run it through the lab. Welcome to the Nutragrammatron lab, this versus that edition. Cheetos versus Doritos. All of Cheetos facts will be on the left, along with their scores on the left-hand side. All of Doritos will be on the right-hand side. Let's get into the measurement. Per 100 calories, Cheetos delivers 1.25 grams of protein, 9.38 grams of carbohydrates, and 6.25 grams of fat, with just 0.63 grams of fiber. So structurally, this is a high-energy food with very little support from protein or fiber, meaning low efficiency and low satiety. Now, let's move into the axis. Macrogram comes in at 9 out of 20, reflecting the imbalance in macronutrient structure. Microgram index score is just 4 out of 20, because micronutrient contribution is extremely limited, with only about 2% of your daily value for iron and calcium. The fibrogram index is 2 out of 20, indicating very low fiber support relative to the energy provided. The sodiogram index comes in at 10 out of 20, driven primarily by sodium, but without meaningful nutritional return. The glycogram index score is 12 out of 20, reflecting overall structural inefficiency. That brings Cheetos to a final Nutragrammatron score of 37. This falls in the poor tier classification. Now, we apply the same system to Doritos. Per 100 calories, Doritos provides 1.33 grams of protein, 12 grams of carbohydrates, and 5.34 grams of fat, with only 0.67 grams of fiber. So, again, high energy, but slightly more balanced in terms of protein and fiber, with a lower fat contribution. Now the axes. Macrogram index score remains at 9 out of 20, structurally similar macronutrient profile as Cheetos. The microgram index score rises to 4 out of 20, supported by roughly 4% of your daily value for iron and calcium, double what we saw in Cheetos. The fibrogram index stays at 2 out of 20. Fiber is still very low relative to the energy it supports. The sodiogram index increases to 12 out of 20, reflecting sodium contribution. The glycogram index remains at 12 out of 20. The overall structure is still inefficient. That brings Doritos to a final Nutragrammatron score of 39. This also falls in the poor tier classification. So obviously, both of these foods fall into the same tier. Both deliver high energy with minimal nutritional return. But they're not identical. Doritos provide slightly more protein, slightly more fiber, and a higher level of micronutrient contribution. So while both are inefficient, Doritos are less inefficient. And that's enough to take the win. Remember, in the Nutragrammatron lab, we don't exaggerate differences, but we also don't ignore them either. And when you measure food this way, even small differences become real ones. This has been the Nutragrammatron lab. Structured evaluation, transparent criteria, consistent analysis. Classification complete.